The test no one survived before. The Galactic Combat Academy was silent. Too silent. Hundreds of cadets stood in long lines around the massive arena. They came from different worlds. Some were tall and scaled. Some had metal skin. Others had glowing eyes or sharp claws. All of them were trained soldiers, and all of them were afraid. At the center of the arena stood a giant steel gate. Thick chains wrapped around it. Warning lights flashed red again and again. Every cadet knew what was behind that gate. The war beast. No one knew where it came from. Some said it was grown in deep space. Others said it was made during an ancient war. What everyone knew was simple and terrifying. No cadet had ever passed its test. The war beast was not just strong. It was smart. It could smell fear. It could hear heartbeats. It could sense weakness. This test was not about weapons. It was not about skill. It was about survival. A loud voice echoed across the arena. First cadet stepped forward. A tall alien with 4 arms walked into the arena. His armor shined. His claws were sharp. He had defeated many enemies in training. The gate opened. The war beast stepped out. It was massive, bigger than a transport ship. Its skin was dark and scarred. Old wounds covered its body. Its eyes burned like red fire. The cadet froze. The beast roared. The sound shook the ground. The cadet screamed and ran. In 1 second, it was over. The gate closed again. Silence returned. The judges made notes. No emotion. This was normal. Cadet after cadet entered the arena. One tried to attack. The beast did not even move. One tried to hide. The beast found him. One tried to stand strong, but fear leaked from his body like smoke. None survived the test. The arena floor was cleaned each time. The line of cadets grew shorter. Whispers spread through the crowd. This test is impossible. It is not a test. It is execution. Why do they still do this? Then the judges called the next name. A human. Many cadets turned and stared. The human was small compared to the others. No thick armor. No claws. No glowing eyes. Just 2 arms, 2 legs, and tired eyes. Some laughed quietly. A human. This will be fast. Why did they even allow him here? The human walked forward slowly. His name was not important. Not yet. He stepped into the arena. The gate closed behind him. The judges leaned forward. This would be quick. The gate opened again. The war beast stepped out. It stopped. The beast had never stopped before. Its head lowered slightly. Its eyes locked onto the human. The human did not move. His heart was beating fast, but not in panic. He breathed slowly. He did not raise his hands. He did not run. The beast took 1 step closer. The ground shook. Still, the human stayed. Sweat ran down his face. His hands trembled just a little, but his feet stayed planted. Another step. The beast sniffed the air around him. The crowd held its breath. The human remembered stories. Old human stories about war creatures. About animals used as weapons. About respect. About calm. He lowered his eyes slightly. Not in fear. In respect. The beast growled. Security weapons powered up around the arena. The judges prepared to end the test. But then something strange happened. The beast stopped growling. Its breathing slowed. The human slowly went down on 1 knee. Gasps filled the arena. He surrendered. He gave up. But the human was not begging. He was listening. The beast leaned closer. Its massive head hovered above the human. They stayed like that. Seconds passed. Then minutes. No attack. No roar. Just silence. The judges looked at each other, confused. The war beast lifted its head. Its eyes were no longer burning with rage. They looked old, tired. The human whispered something. No one could hear the words. The beast took 1 step back. The arena exploded with noise. What is happening? This is not possible. The judges stood up. The test had never gone this far. The human was still alive. And the war beast was watching him, not as prey, but as something else. Something familiar. The gate did not close. The test did not end. And for the first time in Academy history, the war beast waited. When the beast remembered, the arena did not move. No alarms. No victory signal. No ending tone. The war beast stood still, its massive shadow covering the human like a storm cloud that refused to break. The judges were uneasy. This is not allowed. One of them whispered. The test should be over. But no one dared to give the order. The human remained on one knee. His muscles burned. His breath was slow but heavy. Every instinct screamed at him to run, but he ignored it. Running never helped animals. The war beast lowered its head again. Close. So close that the heat from its breath touched the human's face. The smell of metal, fire, and old blood filled the air. The human swallowed. He did not look away. Inside the beast, something stirred. Not hunger, not rage. Memory. The arena faded from its mind. The cold lights disappeared. The beast saw another place. Another time. Battlefields covered in smoke. Explosions tearing the sky apart. Screams in many languages. And humans. Small. Fragile. Loud. But they did not run. They stood beside it. They placed hands on its armor. They spoke calmly, even as the world burned. "You're not alone," they said. "We fight together." The beast's body trembled. Back in the arena, the crowd noticed it. What is wrong with the beast? Is it injured? Security drones moved closer. Weapons locked on target. The human felt the beast shake. He slowly raised his head and spoke again, barely louder than a breath. "You don't need to prove anything." The words were simple, but they cut deep. The beast pulled back suddenly. Several cadets screamed, thinking the attack was coming. But it did not attack. Instead, it turned its head away. Confusion spread like fire. The judges stood. "This test is compromised," the head judge said. "Prepare termination." Red lights flashed. The war beast heard the sound. A sound it remembered. Execution. The beast roared, not in anger but warning. The arena walls cracked. Several judges fell back into their seats. The human stood up slowly. He was shaking now. Fear finally reached him. But he took one step forward. "Stop," he said. Everyone froze. A human ordering a war beast? The beast looked at him again. The human placed a hand over his chest. "My people made mistakes," he said softly. "We used you. We hurt you. But we also stood with you." His voice broke for just a second. "You protected us. And we never forgot." The beast's eyes changed. The red glow dimmed. Something else replaced it. Pain. The beast lowered itself slightly, one massive knee touching the arena floor. Gasps echoed everywhere. "That posture," one judge whispered. "That is not submission. That is recognition." The war beast was not bowing to power. It was bowing to memory. Security weapons powered down one by one. Not because of orders, but because no one could move. The human stepped closer. Every step felt like walking toward death. He reached out. His fingers touched the beast's armored skin. Warm. Alive. The beast did not move. For the first time in centuries, it allowed touch. The arena screens suddenly flickered. Old symbols appeared. Ancient war marks. Forgotten human codes. The system began unlocking files on its own. "Impossible," the judges said. "Those files are sealed." But the beast had triggered them. Images filled the screens. Humans fighting beside war beasts. Not controlling them. Not chaining them. Standing shoulder to shoulder. The truth spread through the arena like shockwaves. The test was never about strength. It was about fear. And humans were the only species that never saw the beast as a tool. Only a partner. The beast slowly raised its head. Then, in full view of the galaxy, it bowed. Not low. Not weak. But respectful. Silence crushed the arena. The human closed his eyes. He had passed the test. But the galaxy had failed one long ago. And now, the beast remembered. The secret the Academy buried. The arena was no longer under the judge's control. Warning lights flashed across the walls. Old symbols kept appearing on the screens, symbols no one alive had seen before. The judges tried to shut the system down. Nothing worked. "This is classified," one judge shouted. These records were erased. But the records did not care. The war beast stood tall again. Its bow was over, but its message was not. The human stood beside it, breathing hard. His legs felt weak, but he did not step back. Around them, the cadets whispered, "What are those images? Why are humans in them?" The screens showed ancient battles, fleets burning in space, entire worlds collapsing. And there, again and again, humans, not as rulers, not as masters, as anchors. Every time a war beast lost control, a human stood close. One hand on steel. One voice calm in chaos. They were handlers, someone said. No, an old instructor replied quietly. They were binders. The word hit the arena like thunder. The head judge slammed his staff into the floor. Enough, he yelled. Shut all down. Detain the human. Security drones moved instantly. The war beast turned. Slowly, its eyes locked onto the drones. The temperature in the arena dropped. The ground cracked beneath its claws. The drones stopped midair. No command was given. Fear made the decision for them. The human stepped forward quickly. No, he said. Please. One word. The beast obeyed. The judges froze. Authority had just shifted. The head judge's voice shook. Human, you will explain this. Now. The human looked up at the screens. I didn't know, he said. Not like this. He turned to the beast. But I can feel it. You were not meant to be alone. The beast let out a low sound. Not a roar. Not a growl. Grief. The screens changed again. New files opened. Project War Beast. Phase termination. Gasps filled the arena. The Academy had planned to destroy them. After the war ended, the beasts were no longer needed. Too dangerous. Too powerful. So they were locked away. Used as tests. Broken slowly. The beast saw everything. Its body trembled. Its claws dug into the arena floor. The human clenched his fists. They used you, he whispered. They turned you into a warning. The beast roared. Not in rage. In pain. The sound shook the station. Several cadets fell to their knees. The judges shouted orders, but no one listened anymore. The beast lowered its head close to the human. A deep voice echoed, not spoken aloud, but felt. You stayed. The human's eyes widened. You can speak? Once. Long ago. With humans. Tears formed in the human's eyes, but he did not wipe them away. They erased us, the human said. Our history. Our role. They tried, the beast replied. But memory lives in pain. The beast turned toward the judges. This test ends. Every screen went black. Emergency lights turned on. The Academy was powerless. The head judge whispered, almost to himself, if humans can awaken them. His voice cracked. Then humans were never weak. The beast stepped forward and stood fully beside the human. A living shield. A choice. Outside the station, long-range sensors suddenly screamed. Unknown ships entered the system. An enemy fleet. The timing was perfect. The beast lifted its head. War returns. The human looked at the stars on the screen. Then at the beast. Then we stand together, he said. And somewhere deep in the galaxy, old allies began to wake. When the galaxy tried to take the human, the alarms did not stop. Red lights flooded the Academy station. Warning sirens echoed through every hall. On the main screen, massive ships dropped out of hyperspace. Enemy warships. Too many. The cadets stared in shock. The Academy had defenses, but not enough for this. The judges gathered quickly. This is no accident, one of them said. They came because of a human. The human felt every I turned toward him. He had not stepped back. The war beast moved closer, its body blocking half the arena. Its presence alone made the air feel heavy. A transmission cut through the noise. A cold voice spoke. Galactic Academy, surrender the human immediately. Silence followed. The judges hesitated. The human is Academy property, the head judge replied. You have no claim. The voice laughed. We know what he is. A binder. The last one. The word sent fear through the room. The human looked up at the beast. They know, he said. The beast's eyes darkened. Then they will try to break you. The enemy ships powered their weapons. The Academy shields flared. The judges turned to the human. If we give them the human, one whispered, they may spare us. The human heard it. So did the beast. The beast growled low. The human raised a hand. No, he said calmly. I will not run. He stepped forward. If they want me, they come through you. The beast's body stiffened. You would die. The human nodded. So would you. The beast was silent. Then it did something no one expected. It knelt again. Not in memory. In oath. The beast stood and roared toward the ceiling. The sound echoed into space. Other war beasts answered. Hidden. Imprisoned. Forgotten. Across the Academy network, containment cells began to shake. The judges panicked. You cannot release them. They will destroy everything. The human turned to them. No, he said. They will defend what they choose. One by one, the cells opened. War beasts stepped into the light. Scarred, angry, awake. The enemy fleet fired. The first shots hit the station shields. They cracked. The war beasts moved. Not wildly, not blindly, with purpose. The human closed his eyes. He could feel them. Fear, pain, rage. He breathed slowly. Easy, he whispered. Stand with me. The rage softened. The beasts formed a wall around the station. The enemy ships hesitated. What is happening? The enemy commander shouted. The answer came fast. A war beast launched into space. Then another. Then 5 more. They moved like living weapons, but guided. Not controlled. Trusted. The first enemy ship exploded. The galaxy watched. The Academy broadcast went public. Billions saw it. A human standing unarmed. Monsters standing with him. The truth spread faster than fear. The enemy commander screamed, "Kill the human." All weapons locked on one target. The human opened his eyes. He smiled faintly. "Guess I matter now," he said. The beast beside him lowered its massive head. "You always did." The enemy fleet fired, and the war beasts moved as one. Why the Ancient Ones feared humanity. The battle outside the Academy burned across every screen. War beasts moved through space like living storms. Enemy ships broke apart under claws and force fields that bent light itself. But inside the station, the real war had just begun. The Ancient Council activated. A massive hologram filled the arena. Tall figures appeared, old, thin, and glowing with cold intelligence. The oldest minds in the galaxy. One of them spoke, its voice slow and heavy. "So, the binders return." The word spread through the arena. The human looked up. "You knew." The Ancient One's eyes fixed on him. "We always knew. We erased the records to survive." The crowd gasped. The Ancient One continued. "Long ago, when the galaxy burned, the war beasts were unstoppable. They destroyed worlds. No weapon could stop them. The screens changed. Old stars died. Civilizations fell. Then humans appeared," the Ancient One said. "Not strong, not fast, not immortal." The image showed early humans, small, weak, bleeding, but they did something impossible. Humans stood before raging war beasts. They did not attack. They did not flee. They stayed. They listened, the Ancient One said. They felt pain that was not theirs. They offered choice. The human clenched his fists. They bonded, the Ancient One whispered. And that terrified us. The screens showed war beasts calming, standing beside humans. For the first time, the Ancient One said, "We were not the ones in control." The Ancient Council grew afraid. So they lied. They said humans were dangerous. They called them unstable. They removed them from command. Then they erased them. The human felt anger rise, but the war beast beside him felt something worse. Betrayal. The beast roared softly. The Ancient One raised a glowing hand. "We did what we had to do. Humans make monsters choose. That breaks empires." The human stepped forward. "No," he said. "It saves them." Silence. The Ancient One looked at the war beasts fighting outside. "They follow you," it said. "Not because you command them, but because they trust you." The truth spread through the galaxy broadcast. Viewers everywhere realized it. Humans were not feared for violence. They were feared for empathy. The Ancient One's voice hardened. "This cannot continue. Kill the human." The command went out. Hidden weapons inside the station activated. Energy blades dropped from the ceiling. The war beasts reacted instantly. They moved to shield the human. The human shouted, "Stop!" The beasts hesitated. The blades fell. One blade struck. Blood hit the floor. The arena screamed. The war beast roared. Full rage, no restraint. The station shook. The Ancient Ones watched in horror. "You see now," the human said, clutching his wound. "You should have let us stay." The war beasts turned toward the stars, toward the Ancient Council worlds. The galaxy held its breath. War was no longer coming. It had chosen a side, the choice that could end everything. The blood on the arena floor spread slowly. The human stood in the center, one hand pressed against his side. His face was pale, but his eyes were clear. The war beasts surrounded him. They did not roar. They did not charge. They waited. Across the galaxy, the ancient council watched in silence. Their hidden weapon had failed to kill him, but it had done something worse. It had proven their fear was real. The Ancient One spoke again, its voice sharp now. "Human, call them off." The human looked up at the giant hologram. "You attacked us," he said. "You lied to the galaxy, and now you are afraid." The Ancient One's eyes glowed brighter. "You do not understand what you are," it said. "You are not soldiers. You are not rulers." The human smiled weakly. "We never wanted to be." He looked at the war beast beside him. Its massive head lowered until it touched the ground. "You gave us a choice," the beast's voice echoed in his mind. "Now we give one back." The human took a slow breath. He raised his hand. Every war beast froze. Even in open space, those fighting enemy ships stopped moving. The galaxy stared. "If you attack the ancient worlds," the human said loudly, "billions will die. Not because they are evil, but because they were afraid." The war beasts trembled. They wanted revenge. They wanted justice. The human felt it all, and he carried it. "We stop," he said, "not because they deserve mercy, but because we choose to be better." The silence was painful. Then one war beast turned away from the ancient council's direction. Then another. Then all of them. The ancient council relaxed. Too soon. The human lifted his head again. "But hear this," he said. "If you ever cage another mind, if you ever erase another truth, we will not stop you next time." The Ancient One's voice cracked. "You would risk everything on trust." The human nodded. "Yes." The war beast beside him rose to its full height. "We stand with the human," it declared. Every war beast echoed the message. The galaxy understood. This was not domination. This was alliance. The ancient council faded from a screen. Emergency messages flooded in. Worlds asking forgiveness. Worlds asking protection. Worlds asking for humans. The human's legs finally gave out. He fell. The war beast caught him gently. As medics rushed in, the beast lowered its head. "You could have ruled," it said. The human smiled faintly. "I just wanted everyone to stop dying." The war beast looked toward the stars. A new era had begun, not led by fear, but by those who could stand beside monsters and tell them to wait. When the war beasts chose humanity forever, the war did not end with explosions. It ended with silence. Across the galaxy, war beasts drifted back from battle lines. Enemy fleets retreated. Ancient worlds powered down their weapons. Everyone waited. The human lay inside the Academy medical chamber. Machines hummed softly around him. His wound was healing, but slowly. Outside the chamber, the war beasts gathered. They did not leave. They did not sleep. They stood watch. The Academy leaders met in secret. Their voices were low and tense. "We cannot allow this bond to continue," one said. "If humans and war beasts unite, no force can challenge them," another replied. "Then do you plan to break it?" No one answered. The door to the chamber opened. The human woke. The first thing he saw was a massive eye watching him through the glass. The war beast lowered its head slightly. "You live," it said. The human smiled. "Hard to get rid of me," he replied weakly. The beast made a deep sound, almost like laughter. News spread fast. The galaxy tuned in. The war beasts began to move. Not toward battle, toward humans. Every war beast chose a human settlement. Not military bases. Not capitals. Homes. Colonies. Refuge worlds. The message was clear. They were not weapons. They were guardians. The ancient council sent one last transmission. "You cannot protect them all," they warned. The human, now standing with support, answered. "They don't need protection from us," he said. "They need protection from fear." The war beast beside him stepped forward. "We choose humanity," it declared. "Not as masters, not as gods, as equals." The declaration echoed across space. Other species watched in silence. Some felt relief. Others felt terror, because the strongest beings in the galaxy had chosen the smallest. The Academy test was officially ended. The arena was shut down. In its place, a monument was built, not of the war beasts, not of weapons, but of humans standing with an open hand. Years later, cadets would ask, why humans? And instructors would answer, because when monsters rose, humans did not try to control them. They stood beside them. The war beasts never bowed again. They never needed to. They walked beside humanity by choice. And the galaxy learned a final lesson. Fear builds empires, but trust builds legends.